I know you and Eminem have an interesting history, so I'm assuming you didn't listen to it.
I didn't. I haven't heard it.
Right.
But I still, Eminem's in my top 5.
Right.
It's Nick Cannon and his crew versus Eminem in the 2019 rap battle that no one asked for. Like, literally not a single person.
Literally no one.
Now, headlines are even reading that in this feud, we the listeners, we are the true losers. Hashtag RIP Nick Cannon, it started a trend following the release of his first diss track, and the dislike button, it exploded for the first music video. Now, Eminem, he's still dusting off the praise he was awarded from his kill shot response in retaliation to Machine Gun Kelly's Rap Devil, but to be fair, I think MGK, he secretly won that one, or at least he pushed things forward for a younger generation. But this new rap beef, it just came out of nowhere. And it looks like it was actually M who started it with his verse on Fat Joe's track Lord Above, where he rapped. I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note, but that other dude's whip, that pussy got him neutered. Tried to tell him this chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked. Full quit, you're not gonna do shit. I let her chop my balls off too, before I lost to you, Nick. Listen, I'm no Eminem, I'm not even trying to be. Although I have been listening to a lot of the Slim Shady LP as of recent. Anyway, now this track, it dropped in early December, and M, he seems to have done Fat Joe a favor, because outside of this verse, well, not a whole lot of people were talking about Fat Joe's latest Family Ties. No shade, it just is what it is.
So I go in there one day to the bank, and the lady said, Mr. Joe, there must be something wrong. There's no money in your bank account.
Now, the beef between Eminem and Nick Cannon, it dates back to 2008 when Nick and Mariah Carey, they got married. Now, M, he had briefly dated Mariah way back in 2001, and she said that he dried hump her and he called her cray cray, which both sounds, well, like they would be kind of accurate traits for these two people. Anywho, Nick and Mariah, they seemed to work out for a couple years, and her status versus his, well, it would mean that she was dating down, which is typically a situation that works for girls who are, well, a little cray-cray. I know from experience. Now, at the time of this recording, Eminem has yet to reply with a diss track, whereas Nick and his crew, they've dropped 2. Now, we're gonna delve deeper into this history of their beef and compare these two icons in a series we titled Versus. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back at it again, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for your support and the positive messages you left on our Juice WRLD videos. Now, as we do in all these videos, we're going to give you guys the opportunity to place your bets on who you're rooting for in the comments down below. We'll also roll a poll near the end of this video. Now, in our last versus video between Bad Baby and Woah Vicky, well, 84% of you supported the Cash Me Outside girl. I got a feeling this one, it's also going to be a landslide win. We got 3 rounds and a lot to get through, so let's jump into this video.
Round 1, fight!
Now, for round 1, it's only fair that we get into the history of the beef between these two dudes. Now, what we know about Mariah and M's brief romance was that it took place back in 2001, and they initially met to discuss a potential collaboration. Now, they got together a couple times, and it mainly took place at his place in Detroit. That was that. Now, the public, they probably would never even heard about this whole fling until M, he rapped about it in his Superman track off the Eminem show the following year. What you trying to be, my new wife? What you Mariah fly through twice? Man, I've listened to a lot of Eminem in my day. He also talked about her, rapped about her and When the Music Stops, where he suggested that he would beg Mariah to take him back. And that was before he would censor his lyrics. Now, this got people talking, but as for Mariah, well, she kept pretty mum on the subject.
I talked to him, have spoken to him a few times, whatever, but in terms of me having like an intimate relationship with men, I can name them all on one hand, and he ain't on the hand. Less than one hand, okay? He's not on the hand.
Now, things been on like this for a number of years. Mariah, she threw some shade during one of her shows. She had a backup dancer dressed in a blonde wig, sporting a Pistons jersey. And then Eminem, well, he decided to play some voicemail messages of a woman begging for him, well, to call her back. Take a listen.
Well, who is that? I love you. You love me? Yo, that sounds like Mariah Carey.
That's me.
Then on the Jimmy Crackhorn track from Re-Up, he rapped, "Your mind's on us like mine's on Mariah, and y'all are just like her. You're all effing liars. And I'll just keep effing you like I effed her, right in the..." I actually have to stop saying the lyrics or this entire video, it will get demonetized. Now, Eminem, he also appeared on Shade 45, and there he called her all sorts of names, and he was admittedly bothered that she had kind of denied the fact that, well, they ever had something. Then Mariah, she got married in 2008, and that could have been the end of it. But shots were fired again by M on his 2009 album Relapse on the track Bagpipes for Baghdad. Now they recalled Nick Cannon a prick, and he wished him luck with the effing W. Again, I gotta keep it clean. Now Nick, he decided to write out a letter to have the two men talk things out. I believe it was like a blog post. 2008, whoa, that was a different time.
I got dragged into it, and like again, I wasn't gonna let anybody disrespect my family, my wife, and you know, and I was like, however you want to handle it, motherfucker, we gotta handle it. If you man enough that we could just have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But you gonna apologize, and I'm gonna see you in person and tell you that that's what you have to do.
Now there was no word back from M, so Mariah, she hit back with Obsessed, where she mocked M in the music video dressed up as him, and the whole shebang. They really went for it. Now Eminem, he retaliated with the warning where he went into graphic detail about their hookup, and he threatened to release incriminating pictures and audio confirming the relationship. But anyway, from there, things they seemed to quiet down for almost an entire decade. Now the two men were never cool with Nick Cannon. He was always getting asked questions about his relationship or his controversy with M. Now Nick, he would call Eminem out to do like some charity boxing and a few other stunts like that. But all in all, the beef, well, it seemed dead. That is until last week. Now Eminem, he kicked up the dust in his verse on Fat Joe's song, Lord Above, which I rapped earlier in this video. But this time, Nick Cannon, he was ready. Albeit with a song that I'm pretty sure not a whole lot of people like. Anyway, The Invitation, it was released on December 9, 2019, and by now you've heard it, or at least you've heard about it. Now it's got a massive amount of downvotes on Worldstar Hip Hop's YouTube channel with 1.4 million views and 73,000 thumbs down. That's versus 25,000 thumbs up at the time of this recording. But them thumbs down, they keep growing. Now Nicky got some help from his friends Hitman Holla, Charlie Clips, Prince Easy, and he said what he had to say, which included a homophobic shot at M rapping, "I heard your chauffeur got a video of you sucking a C." Yikes! Now M, he has only responded via Twitter at this time, where his tweet it read, "You mad bro? Stop lying on my D. I never had a chauffeur, you bougie F," followed by a good old clown emoji. Now this tweet, it received more likes than the entire music video that they had posted to Worldstar. That's embarrassing. Now then came the follow-up, Pray for Him, and Nick Cannon, he didn't come until the 5th verse, where he sampled M's verse off of Renegade from his 2001 collab with Jay-Z. Now, it was actually so spot on, word for word, that Jay-Z's label, they've claimed this YouTube video. I saw that in the description. But anyway, it's gotten almost 1 million views with 38,000 thumbs down versus 4,000 thumbs up. Yikes. M, he responded again via Twitter, "I demand an apology, Nicholas. You've made my gardener so jealous." Oh yeah, I might have missed something. I'm not sure what that means. What's the gardener have to do with it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, so there you have it, and we're gonna have to wait patiently for Eminem to bury Nick Cannon once and for all, but for this round, it can actually be debated. Now M, he's been the antagonist for this beef since the beginning, and you can't knock Nick for standing up for himself. So just to even the score here, I'm actually giving the first round to Nick Cannon. I feel like he's been bullied. So yeah, well, he's gotta win something.
Round 2, fight!
Alright, for round 2, we're gonna take a look at the numbers, and by that, I mean social media clout and net worth. Now Nick Cannon, he's got 4.3 million followers on Instagram versus Eminem's 26.7 million. Then on Twitter, Nick Cannon, he's got about 4.8 million, where Marshall Mathers, he's rocking 22.7. Now a quick Google search on Nick Cannon's net worth, it actually pulls up some pretty interesting information. Now the dude is said to be worth around $30 million, which is huge, good for him. But back in 2008, when he married Mariah, well, divorce papers revealed that he was estimated to be worth around $500K when he entered that relationship. And Mariah, well, she's worth $150 mil. Now this marriage, it allowed him to bump up his star power, and he started to command more money. By 2013, he was pulling in $2.7 million a year, but then when they got divorced, well, he got stuck with a bill of $5,000 a month for the twins, and all he got in the settlement was their 2012 Ferrari. Mariah, she kept all them millions to herself. What a bitch.
Nick, pick one quickly for your own safety. He's got it.
Now a man with similar bucks in his bank account, it was Eminem. The guy's got an estimated net worth of $250 mil. Now interestingly enough, Eminem and Mariah, they would have been quite the power couple. Her net worth's $150 mil, his is $250 mil. So if the two of those got together, they would have been the white trash version of Jay-Z and Beyonce, the trailer park version. Just saying. Anyway, Eminem, he was killing it by the time they were dating. He was pulling in $1 million in 2008, and nowadays he's pulling in $50 million annually, according to my sources. I don't have access to his bank account. I'm just telling you what's online. All right, so for round two, obviously Eminem, he is the victor. He still might have only dry humped Mariah, which would make Nick possibly the winner, but I've already gone too easy on Nick. All right, let's get into round three.
Round 3. Fight!
All right, finally for round three, we're gonna talk about cosigns and collabs. Now, Nick Cannon, he's a talented dude and he's transcended a whole bunch of opportunities in the world of entertainment. I mean, he's got a radio show, he's got his hosting credits, some massive shows. He's also been an actor, a producer. He's got the whole Wild 'N Out thing under his thumb. He's working with MTV. He's done it all. Plus, everyone at Wild 'N Out seems to really like him, or at least they do for a paycheck. He's also turned some of these guys into the Black Squad. Now, I don't really know who these dudes are. I might actually have to go make some Before They Were Famous videos to figure out more. But you know, we are living in a new era. Yeah, there's people on the internet now that can actually find new opportunities to punch their way up. And you can't knock them for trying to gain a little clout for themselves because, hey, Eminem and his crew, well, they've been ruling the roost for a very long time. With that being said, they have attacked a legend, and perhaps attacking a GOAT will cut them off from future opportunities. Now, of course, Emi's got a few big shots in his corner, Dr. Dre, 50 off the top of my head, but this is the old guard. There is a changing of guards with all these kids on the internet, but the question remains, will attacking the GOAT cut them off from future opportunities? I'm not entirely sure anymore. I mean, the internet, it is opening up all new opportunities, and there are new stars that can make it. So, I guess we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens. And I don't think these diss tracks, well, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna launch them to fame. But they might get better. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave it up to you to let me know what you think in the poll above my head. Are you rooting for Nick Cannon or Eminem? Whew, I can already feel the Eminem votes coming in. My name is Michael McCrudden. We make all sorts of videos here. We like to have some fun with versus videos. And in the future, I want to turn these into like video games. I want to like get some graphics and some animation. But for that to happen, I need you guys to subscribe. If you want to become a channel member, you can do that down below. And we're actually selling merch. There's also a link down below. So do some of those things. I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!